Hey E36 fanatics, Steven here. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about convertibles. Now, if you've seen any of my videos on BMW repairs, you know that my daily driver was a 328i convertible. The one before that was 318i convertible. The rest of the vehicles I have here, this BMW and this Benz in the background, are both convertibles. For some reason, me and my family, we love convertibles. I don't like them as much as I used to because I've had one as a daily since I was 16, and I realized how much of a pain they are to have as a daily. But in this video, I want to talk about a few tips and things I've learned over the years of having a convertible as a daily, and basically some things to consider before you just determine whether, you know, if you're interested in getting a convertible as a daily driver or something like that. So the first one that I got to say is maintenance. Maintenance is a good deal higher on convertibles just by it being a convertible top or rag top, especially so the vast majority of convertibles nowadays are automatics, which means, you know, you push a button, top goes up, folds in, or sometimes there's semi-automatics, which has a latch, but the motors still actually turn it back. But really, I think most of them nowadays are fully automatic. So what that means is that most convertible tops, automatic convertible tops, are one of, if not the most complicated mechanism on your vehicle. Many of them have multiple motors. The fully automatic tops, the old E36s had 3 motors. I've seen convertible tops with as many as 4 or 5 motors. So they have multiple motors controlling them. There's multiple position sensors to indicate when the latch is open, when the top should open. And then the convertible top itself, the rag top, has multiple moving components working within it for newer vehicles. They have tensioner straps that are extremely expensive. Then the rag top itself is expensive to replace. So parts-wise, you're going to end up spending more money if you have a convertible versus having just a regular hardtop vehicle. The second thing to consider is the actual maintenance that you're going to be putting into maintaining your top itself. Convertible tops, rag tops, have to be cleaned. They take a special oil that you apply to it or a wax that you put on top of it. You try and do it somewhat frequently, once every couple weeks. A lot of people don't do it nearly as frequently as they should, and for that reason, rag tops rarely last as long as they should. So you got more work to just actually maintaining the top yourself versus having a hard top. The third thing is not really a recommendation. I'm just going to tell you what I do with convertibles in regards to security. So if you've ever seen a convertible get broken into, if the doors are locked, what people will do is they'll just take a blade and cut out the back of the convertible, because it's just plastic. Just cut through it and crawl in through the back. Very easy for a thief to do. You know, as long as the guy's got a knife on him, he can get into your convertible. That's one of the issues with convertible top vehicles, is that they're just less secure than a hardtop vehicle. Hardtops are more difficult to get into. They don't just have a plastic part at the back that you can slice through and get in. So what I do is I leave my doors unlocked in my convertible, and I just don't leave any crap in there that I don't mind getting stolen. You know, a USB charger or something, like, you know, if a crackhead wants to steal it, go ahead. I'd rather him take that than freaking cut through my top, which is thousands of dollars to fix. So I don't leave anything in convertible top vehicles that's worth something to me. Another thing to keep in mind is that if your interior is leather, then the interior is going to fade quicker, and the leather is going to degrade significantly quicker than hardtop vehicles. The reason being is that direct sunlight over time damages leather. So I see this all the time with old E36s when I'm interested in buying either a hardtop or a convertible. So I'm used to this point. I never expect an E36 convertible to have decent looking leather seats. They're always trash unless somebody's replaced it. And the reason being is because the sun's been hitting it for so long and they're convertible tops. But the hard tops, most of the time I expect the seats to be in pretty decent shape. And most of them are. because they're hard tops and they just don't get exposed to the environment very frequently, so the leather seats end up lasting a lot longer. So in addition to the issues with the convertible top and the security, you also got to consider the additional maintenance you're going to be doing on your interior if you have leather seats. Because if you want those suckers to last, you're gonna have to take really nice care of them with leather cleaner and leather waxing and such like that to get them to try and last as long as a hardtop will. And my next tip: if your convertible leaks, have somewhere to park it underneath in a garage or something where if it's raining, it ain't gonna rain into your convertible top, into your car all the time. Either that or get the thing fixed. But a lot of the times with convertibles, you know, I rarely see a convertible with a couple years on it that doesn't leak at least a little bit. So, huge recommendation: keep your convertible under something where it's not gonna get rained on when you're parking it at your place. If you don't, your leather is going to deteriorate so much quicker than it should be otherwise, and you're going to have that freaking soggy seat all the time, and eventually your flooring, eventually the carpet's going to develop mold. It's a real pain. Just keep it housed. And now I'm going to show you a car that's been out in my backyard for about a year. My brother blew up the engine about a year ago, so it had, before this week, it had all the doors and everything on it. I've been parting it out. So I'm gonna show you what the interior looks like after it's been sitting for a little bit, convertible that leaks water. See those seats? Yeah. Yeah. I'm selling these seats at a deep discount. Everything must go, all right? Just in case you're interested. And my last tip, but not least, I strongly recommend to not have one as a daily driver. You know, if you really love convertibles, hey, if you live in Florida, you know, my advice does not apply to you or anywhere that has Florida-like weather. But, you know, everywhere else in normal parts of the country where it gets cold and it rains or it gets cold during the winter, you know, it's just, to me, it's not worth it to have a convertible as a daily. It's just a fun car to have over the weekends and to have when the sun's out and it's the summer and you can have the top down and everything. And then even then, in a lot of parts of the country, I mean, you know, I'm in North Carolina, and when it hits 90, 95 degrees over the summer, it's not even worth having a convertible because the air's too freaking hot. You don't even want the top down. So that's my recommendation. They're fun cars, but they're meant to be secondary cars, not primary driving cars. So I hope these tips helped you out. If it did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.